So everybody can hear me. I should unmute the microphones so that we can all get going. As the players can hear me, but you can't. So here we go. We're going to jump right in and let's get started. So we're not in any combat order like we were last time. You guys are just kind of tamped down a possible confrontation from a large 7-foot grizzly bear man that you have rescued and who's mostly pulled his weight so far in the couple of battles that you've had throughout this pyramid, as he meets up with a half-orc that he doesn't recognize, but you guys quickly relay through sign language to him that this one is a friend and not to tear him apart. So, our barbarian has returned. You are in the darkness for the most part. I don't know if there's even a torch lit at this point when you guys are moving this far through the pyramid. Actually, is there a torch? I don't remember if anybody had a torch out or not.
Didn't Albiorix have a torch?
I think he had one that went out, and I don't recall one ever being relit.
Rock no need torch.
Right, but our paladin, our Gith,
us.
are either being led around, which is fine, or need some way to see if they're doing stuff. Let's do this. There we go.
First, I want to snap into a Slim Jim, and then I want to light a torch.
Yeah, we've got the whole equipment room too to break into and pull torches if we need them. There's all that gear.
Well, you guys have your gear at this point in your backpack, so whatever you normally carry with you is what you have. If it's not on your character sheet at the moment, you don't got it. Although, I don't know if Rock has his gear.
I got it for him.
He's got 2 slabs of deer right now.
Yes, he does.
Does anybody need? I've got some potions of healing here on this cloak, and in my pack. Anybody need?
How many?
6.
Everybody take one. And give one to the bear.
I'll give mine to the bear as well.
I'll give mine to the bear as well.
Don't you need healing, Sasha?
Yeah, but this bear's going to die.
Alright. Well, I definitely need one.
And I want the bear to take damage instead of us, because I'm pretty sure he has a higher AC.
Actually, I don't. I'm pretty much high on my AC, or my hit point.
As we're handing those out, let's have a quick hushed conversation about what the hell we're going to do.
If you're giving them to somebody, go ahead and roll the points so that person can then adjust their
All right, I'll roll them up.
Yeah, what you recognize looking at Vormar, which Mistletoe has learned his name, and he's realized that Vormar, it can speak too. It has words and it has a language. It's just not one that any of you speak.
Is it orc or goblin?
It is not. Does anybody speak giant? I think we've asked this many times before.
Ungear does.
No, he does not speak giant.
So
Ungear does not.
yeah, so it's not anything that, and it's not actually giant, but it's definitely it sounds like. It's actually very similar to what the ogres, you've heard them say things, and the way they talk amongst each other. But it's definitely, there's quite a bit of differences in their own language. So, but you do know his name is Vormar. The other thing you've kind of noticed just by looking at him, Mistletoe would probably notice the most, because Mistletoe's been spending most of their time trying to help with communication. And so has spent the most time talking or miming or pointing at things and using words to start to learn its language and to communicate with him. He's got a pretty hide set armor on that's but you notice, like, very much like a barbarian, seems to be covered in old wounds that heal and have healed over. So you get the impression that he's probably been hit quite a bit, but has made it through a lot of battles.
Are we giving him two potions?
That's what it seemed
Yeah.
like.
So we've used 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get there. There's one.
You know, instead of blowing all these potions, we could probably try to get a short rest somewhere. These potions are hard to come by.
I'm out of hit dice. I don't think I get them back on a short rest.
Well, how many do you
Same.
have? Because you definitely used some in the fight before.
Did they didn't use any last week, did they?
No, but you use...
We used
3?
two of them.
Oh, all right. All right.
So I had 2 from one of the patches and then 4 from another patch that I'm taking off now. So there's 9 for bear guy. Do we want to save the last one for just in case?
Might be a good idea.
Okay.
So I'm adding 9 hit points to Vormar.
Yep.
I rolled that 5 for him at the top.
Oh, there you go. And you didn't use it?
So Vormar
I
gets
gave
another
it to
5.
I gave it to Boromar. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna look over to the elves. So, do you possess any skills or any knowledge of this place that might help us in what is to come?
There's only one elf now, isn't there?
Yeah. First of all, one has died. And actually, she is probably... I would think she's trying to carry the body of the other elf. She's not going to leave the body of the elf in this temple, in this pyramid. So as things have been moving around, she's keeping her companion with her. And she says to Alberix, if that's who's talking to her then, maybe there's a pause as she's still looking at her companion. You can tell that they were close. She has a very pained expression now, different than ever since her companion has fallen. Seems very shook by it and kind of shakes her head and says in common to you, no, we were captured. They covered our heads and our eyes. We were brought here and thrown into cells. She thinks that it's probably been several weeks, but she's not even sure because you can't tell, down here how often the days go by. She'd only be guessing. She kind of mentions that she was part of a little bit larger scouting party that had been keeping track of some of the Norker tribes that were in and she has a name for it that you don't recognize at all. It's just like a word that comes out. And when she kind of sees it, you guys don't understand that. She kind of just thinks there's mountains to the west. And that's where the Norkers come from. They infest those hills and mountains, but normally they stick to themselves and they stick to that mountain range. They don't normally wander. So she assumes you're in that mountain range at this point. Doesn't exactly know where you guys are at.
We come from the south.
Well, she has heard of Port Bastion, and she assumes you are from that town, the Manling town.
And I It is true. We
And
must make
she's like,
ourselves
we're ready
to
to,
leave.
are we getting out? Are we leaving? We should leave.
So
Okay.
four ogres up above.
Mm,
We'll bar our way.
Then let us be on with it.
I think we should still try to sucker 2 of them or 1 of them down here. Separate them, kill them, and then kill the other ones on the way out.
All right. Rock is down for that. If that's acceptable, he'll toss those deer carcasses down to the ground.
So, given the
We want-
layout,
No axe,
Lucian,
no
can-
weapons.
I have your axe right here.
yeah,
I can't
Your
go back
cloak.
up like that though.
that's true. Well, we can leave your axe around. They may not notice you're wearing no armor still.
Can we get back to the map?
Yeah.
Sure. Let's bring you back over to the map.
Okay, I think we can- I think we need to check the doors that we haven't yet, just to be sure they're empty. Except for the one where we know the wolves are. And then the place we killed the trolls, which was a fairly big room at the bottom of the stairs. If we hide in that bathroom that they were using, off to the side, you could bring them into the room where the trolls were sleeping. That's isolated enough we might be able to kill them in a round or 2 and not draw the other ones right away.
And where are the stairs going up at right now, Dan?
To the north
In
of
the
you.
dark bit.
I'm gonna go to this door and listen.
So should they be uncovered at this point? If I came down them?
Well, I'm only have open what you guys can pretty much see.
All right, but if I came down those stairs, I'm just trying to find a spot where we should ambush at this point. If I've got an idea of the layout.
Yeah, well, when you came down, there's a Norker guarding that stairwell. There's a couple of ogres that you passed on your way down. In a side room. And then you came down this hallway and you found these guys. And I guess, I mean, I could probably just close this stuff up. Reveal area, hide area. So for now, we could say you don't see any of this. Tom, do you have light? Or are you just feeling along the wall there?
The last thing I did, as I recall anyway, was look for that ring, the regeneration ring in that eating room.
Yep.
So, and I don't know exactly where things went from there as far as positioning and stuff. That's the last
Yeah,
thing I
yeah.
remember.
You were in that room, and I think somebody else was in the room with you. I thought.
I thought so too, but I don't recall.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and let me switch over to dynamic lighting. Is there anything there? Oh, what I want is this. There, you should be able to move in the room. There. And I feel like somebody was with you.
I think so too, but I can't remember
It would
if
either
this was
been-
before we killed the Knoll.
Yeah,
or
it
I
either
guess
been
it would have-
Mistletoe or it'd have been Eingar, I think was with you.
Sure, I'll be with you. Why not?
In any case, we should drag the dead Knoll into one of these rooms.
Lucian, could I listen at this door here?
Yeah. Go ahead and roll a perception check. Wisdom.
I did.
It sounds pretty quiet.
Is it unlocked?
Yes, all the doors down here have been unlocked except the cells.
I'm gonna look over to. I'm gonna.
Hey, Lucian. This dining room before had a fireplace, as I recall, when we first came down here.
Yes, that area was kind of like set up as a dining room.
Is it lit? Embers? Anything like that?
No, it's actually not lit at the moment. It has a polished black stone walls and floors, ceiling typical of the whole lower level. No strange colorations or decorations. Does it give us furniture in there? A crude table and chairs of huge proportions is set up. There's also the large size crudely made benches. There was a number of boxes and crates that you guys had searched before. And there are several small fireplaces along the east wall that show signs of having been recently used, but they are currently out.
Okay.
There are many torch brackets along the walls, and all partially burned torches or stubs of them are within, but they've all been doused as if they're not being used at the moment. So it looks like nobody has set up this place to serve dinner for a while. Like if you hold your hand over the fireplace, it's cold as if it hasn't been lit for at least many hours or even longer.
Okay.
So yeah, Albrix, you don't hear anything. The door is, when you move the latch slightly, you can tell that it's unlocked, that it'll open if you wish.
I'll look over my shoulder at Vormir and Eingar. And does the door push in?
If you push it in.
Well, I didn't know if it pulled out or pushed in.
No, all these, this door would open out towards you. So it would open to the
and
left.
It's a solid door, correct?
Yes, no windows, no. In fact, it fits perfectly. So there's just the barely smallest space. You might be able to push a paper underneath it, but that'd be it.
I'm really tempted to open this door. Yeah, I'm gonna open this door.
All right, so let's go to the map. Let's go to the door. Let's open her up. And let's do a reveal on the objects and tokens. All right. So when you look in, you can tell that this area is about 20-ish by 30 feet, all of stone, and it seems to be a dull violet color. There are no decorations on the walls, but you can tell that the ceiling is domed. The floor has a hollow place, almost a regular oval, some 10 foot long and about half as broad. The depression runs the length of the room, and it's in the center, directly under the arch of the dome above.
And there's nothing in here?
And the depression is about 3-ish feet deep total, probably at its deepest part. There's a pair of corroded bronze braziers in the far corners of the room. They are currently unlit. There are some remains of some sort of high bench and 2 chairs that are likewise there, but they look like they've been smashed. And most of that stuff is of rotting wood, and it's all broken apart at this point.
I'm going to suggest that we get in one of these rooms if we're going to ambush an ogre.
And we'll say Vormir was standing here with you.
I'm gonna move the torch into the room and take a look further to see if there's anything that catches my.
All right, go ahead.
What do you want? Perception?
I want to see you move into the room.
Well, I'm scared to move in the room.
Dynamically. Oh, I have a thing there. Hold on. Now you can do it. I really should get rid of all the dynamic lighting. So the minute you walk in, go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw.
It's always a good sign for a room.
Ooh, a 4, huh? So as you walk in, the hair on your back of your neck, or the nape of your neck, the small little area there, just kind of stands up straight almost, and then you have this really sickening feeling in your stomach as you stand within the room.
I'm gonna back out.
Okay.
And shut the door.
Okay.
And shake my head at Vormir and go follow my friends.
Door shut. Hide area. Boop. All right. Vormir will follow, as will our dwarf and elf.
So are we going to ambush in this hall?
Well, the corner above is what I was thinking, but you
Where's
remember
the
what I'm talking about?
Am I in a dead end hallway right now?
It breaks to the left, and to the right is the
Oh.
cooking room.
Let me
And if you go
unhide.
around it, you get into where the trolls were.
So you can see probably this.
Yeah, that next door is the kitchen.
So we want to set up like here.
No.
I forgot I had all this still. Let me fix all this real quick while I can. Oh, that's not what I want. All right. I think that's all fixed now. Perfect. All right. Are you using light up at this corner or not?
I have dark vision.
But is there light at this corner or not?
I have my torch in the room that I'm in, so I suppose he doesn't have any light for me, unless he asks for it.
All right. So Tom, you're with Rock, but you're in the dark. Rock
Right.
can see.
So I'm just trying to explain. My character can be over here. I just didn't have anything else to. But so this hallway that Rock can see in front, if you go to the north of the top of the map, that should be to the stairwell. And to the right should be an open room where the trolls were living. And then to the upper left of that, there's a door for their bathroom. My suggestion was to bring an ogre or two down into the troll lair area, and we hide in the bathroom. When the ogres come down, we ambush them, kill them as quick as we can, and hope for the best, I guess. But
Okay.
again, I'm open for other ideas.
Well, I don't think we're going to get arrested in here.
No.
Probably not.
Let us be on with this.
In my description of the location's correct, Lucian, right? I'm not forgetting this or something? Should be a stairwell up here, and then the troll room here, and then the bathroom here.
Yeah, that's your memory serves you well.
Since Rock is effectively able to traverse the area without people questioning him too much, he's the perfect person to try to drag him down or talk them into it. Now, do you know the name of the person that runs this place, Rock?
Groog?
Grug? Okay. Then
think.
the easy answer there is go up to the ogres and say Grug wants to talk to them and lead them down here.
Just needs one or two.
Yep. Hell, you could just walk up to one guy and say Grug needs to talk to you. It's at least one less, and if that works, we can try it again.
Yeah. If Rock's going to be coming down, he's going to be unarmed.
We can leave your axe in the room.
Put it someplace where he can get to it.
Right.
If we're going to ambush, I'm going to switch to my crossbow.
Or even a shield and a single-handed weapon at this point, he'd be happy with if you can find that for him.
Albiorix has your axe.
I have your axe right here.
He understands that. he's extremely tired and would do with a shield if we could scrounge one.
I'll offer him mine.
All right. So should we set up for an ambush then, so we can light up this part of the map?
Yep.
Yes. No.
Yeah, I think that's the way to do it. Just hope Rock's acting is up to snuff.
Luckily, they're ogres.
All right, I'll have no weapons, but I'll dump those deer carcasses off nearby and start trudging back.
Make sure they're not in the open so you don't see them when you come down.
So where's the torch at?
Oh, Beerix has it, right?
Okay.
Right here.
So
If you want to give me a little thing to move around, I'll move it around.
Oh, look, a Norker.
Yeah, who sees your light, sees you.
All right, charge him.
Has big round eyes. And then sees Rock and yells something like you're pretty sure would translate to traitor. How
I'll shoot
dare
him.
you?
I couldn't see that guy.
Sure. You're
All right.
walking next to a torch so that the people who can't see can see. You passed him on the way down, which I mentioned earlier. You passed the Norker.
Can I take a shot at him?
Yeah, we're gonna roll initiative here.
Okay.
Do you need me to re-roll, or is that roll fine?
Let's see if it opened. Oh,
It works. Okay.
did it? Because I haven't rolled for these other guys yet. Is it replacing it? Albrick's got a 9. Yep. Eingar got a 17. Yep.
This Yeth is patient.
Okay.
It is the way of druids to think through their actions.
So let me get some character sheets open now. We need a Norker. So Mr. Norker, and he's kind of coming around the corner as you guys are coming around the corner. At the same time, so we got him. There we go. And I need Vormir. Where are you guys at? So he's in the back. Elf and dwarf here. They set down the body in the corner there. All right, so Vormir, let's get you done. There you go. I need Teldrol. The dwarf. There we go. He's good to go. And we need our elf ranger. There we go. descending. Perfect. All right. So do we got everybody now? Rangers, Norkers, Teldril. Yep, we got all of them. Get that ready. So it looks like Mistletoe starts out. So basically, probably what ends up happening is Mistletoe, you're kind of a ways back. You're not seeing what's necessarily going on, but you pick up what languages do you speak?
I speak Celestial, Draconic, Abyssal, and...
Okay. So yeah, you hear...
Oh, and Infernal.
Okay, yeah. So you hear what you probably would recognize as some type of goblin-like dialect who yells out a word. You immediately see your companions tense who are in front of you and realize they've just seen something and something has just seen them, and you're already beginning to do something. So you're moving quicker than the rest of them at this point. So you start us off on round number 1. What does Mistletoe end up doing?
I will run forward to see what all the commotion is and recognize the Norkers who have spent the last several weeks beating the tar out of me on a regular basis, and snap off a couple kicks in midair and send some bolt swing towards it.
Okay.
A 20 and an 18 to hit.
2 hits.
16 radiant damage total.
Nice. So yeah, he just goes right down from 2 of those hits. And so we see kind of streaking off into the darkness, the 2 radiant bolts hit, and then off to your right, and you can kind of see with your dark vision. You would probably see... Let me do it this way. Polygon reveal. There we go. So about like this. To here-ish. To maybe like here. And to here. You see out of the corner of your eye after the lights of the radiant sunbolt, which kind of actually blinds you for a second as they go through into the darkness, and your dark vision picks back up, and out of the peripheral you see something huge turn as it sees your lights, and then you're looking at each other at about the same time as it begins to react. So let me go ahead and
immediately go, ah! And duck that back behind Rock and yelling, ogre, ogre, big ogre.
There we go. And let's put him... Eingar, what's your dexterity? Should be high,
13.
right? Yeah, okay, you'll react. Okay. Okay, so it sees you, and you can tell it's in the motion of turning and moving as you complete your turn. Anything else for Mistletoe, our monk?
No, just yelling that there's an ogre and getting very small behind the large orc.
All right, so Eingar, you had come around the corner with the torchlight. You had seen the Norker. You had your crossbow ready, and you were bringing it up when you felt the wind pass by you. 2 bolts of energy go flying by, and they drop that Norker to the ground. And then you see the very surprised look on the tiefling's face as he then retreats quickly, hearing what Mistletoe has said. What would you like to do?
Mistletoe said something about an ogre?
Yes.
Yeah, it was just like, ogre, big ogre.
I am going to... Can I see it from here?
Yeah, once you get around kind of that wall section there, you can see it, and it's moving in.
Is it moving towards us?
Oh yeah, it's charging this way.
Okay. As it's charging towards us, I'm going to put 2 bolts in its face.
Okay.
$18.
Yes, that'd be a hit.
for 7.
Okay.
22.
Hit.
And this one will have Colossus Slayer on it for an extra 1. So it's 11 total. 18 total between the two.
Nice.
What's it doing here?
I'm going to ask Rock if he wants my battle axe. If he wants, because you can use that single-handed.
He will grab it when he makes his move.
Okay. Can I use a bonus action to get it out and I've got dual wielder.
Yeah.
And
He still
hold
has to take it on his turn though.
Right. Kind of hold it handle in towards him.
Okay. Anything else for Eingar?
That's it for Eingar.
All right, Ogre. All right, so let's see. They move 5, 10, 20, 25, 30, 35.
I don't like the use of the word they in this instance.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Yes, these were the 2 ogres that were in that room, alerted by the death of a Norker, burning, collapsed on the floor here, bleeding out now at this point. Maybe not burning. Does that, I guess we haven't established that. Does that burn your victims, or is it just, do they bleed out? Do they just...
He said victims.
I've always thought of it more as like almost like a kinetic fire.
Okay,
Kinda
so
like
more
the fire
internal
blast from
wounds.
Yeah, like it kind of phases through and ruptures on the inside.
Yeah,
Sort of
yeah.
like
So
the
there's, like,
kinetic
big-
blast from Avatar.
Yeah, cool. So like big bruises show where it was hit twice, and it keels over. Maybe a little blood comes out of the mouth and the ears a little bit. All right, cool. 2 ogres come tromping out, big clubs in hand, roaring in their speak, which you don't recognize, beating their clubs against the wall and the floor as they come charging up, using their hands, almost like a gorilla move, and then just trying to smash down with a club. So one's going to strike against Rock, and one's going to try to strike against Tristan. So first one against Rock.
I do my reaction to make it be a disadvantage.
All right, so we'll do disadvantage. Great club. So does a 12 hit Rock at this point? Does Rock have armor?
He's got a shield and no weapon.
Okay, but like his barbarian AC is pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that should be a miss.
Yes.
All right, so the great club crashes into the floor, missing Rock as he kind of dodges out of the way. And then we have a great club against Tristan for a 22.
Unfortunately.
Okay.
That's a nice hit.
I'll hit the attack here. Did it hit? There it goes. 18 bludgeoning damage from a great club. Smashes into Tristan's armor that he's put back on. We can see dents in the plates and the broken chain links and such as it crashes into him. Makes a rattling noise. That will be their turn, so that'll bring us to Rock the Barbarian. Half-orc Barbarian. What would you like
We'll
to do?
attack the one with 2 arrows sticking.
Okay, that's the one on the left.
I'm sorry. First, as a bonus action, I'm going to interact with Eleanor's. To give me a great axe or a hand axe or a battle axe.
I think he said battle axe.
Yeah, I think that's what he has. Is a battle axe.
Yeah, and he always drank.
So it should be a let me do this just so we're not. We will mute. There we go. So 1 hits. All right. Take a chunk out of him with 6 slashing damage from the battle axe as it cuts into its big gut and it roars at you, getting ready to try to swing at you again with its club. Anything else for Rock? 2 hits. Okay. Standing strong. Kiana.
You only rolled damage once, Rock.
He only hit once.
He only.
I thought you said 2 hits. My apologies, Lucian.
Nope. Let's see. Yep, Kiana. I want to make sure I got that right.
He did. I knew what he meant, though.
They have slightly better armor class than your average ogre.
So she moves 5, and she's going to put 2 arrows from her longbow into the one that's fighting Tristan. So we will get 2 shots here. So longbow. Misses with 1, hits with the second for 3 piercing damage. So it's just a grazing shot that opens up just a line of blood across the skin, barely parting it, trying to make sure she doesn't hit the weaving and maneuvering combatants that are up close, and making sure not to hit Alberich or Vormir as they're moving and getting ready to do something. That brings us to Tristan. You are up.
So I should be able to move here without an opportunity attack, right? Since I'm not leaving his range.
Correct.
Alright. I'm going to attack the more wounded one.
Okay.
Palinor, mute.
You should be muted.
Bruce.
I just did it in the Discord channel.
Yeah. If you
Sorry.
click on his name, you can then say mute, and it'll mute him.
Alright. So I'll attack the one in front of me twice.
Okay. 27 does hit, and 17 does hit. For a total of 21. Oof. 2 big, long gashes streak across. So like across his arm, chest, and then one that goes across his, down one of his legs, cutting into his knee area. Looks like he's probably going to bleed out pretty quickly. Still barely standing, hasn't quite gone down, but is definitely near death at this point.
Some healthy damage rolls there, dude.
Yep.
Yeah, that wasn't messing around.
Anything else for Tristan?
Nope.
All right, that brings us to Alberich.
All right, Alberich is going to lash out. At the ogre on the left and miss.
Yes, 10 misses.
All right, I'm going to hold my spot. I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Shillelagh on my staff.
Okay.
And the end of it crackles into a psychic spearhead. That'll be my turn.
All right, that brings us to Vormir, who is going to charge up in the space that's left open by Tristan to allow him to attack this ogre. Vormir goes in with, so he goes normal, so battle axe, warhammer, bite.
I approve of this crit.
Yeah, so gets the crit on the warhammer. Doing, let's make sure that's right. So it's, oh, except I rolled the wrong damage. It should be this damage. Oh, no, it was right. 12 plus the 5. 11 plus 4. Okay, so 15. 15 bludgeoning damage. His battle axe is pushed to the side. The warhammer lands solid, breaking bone and jarring the jaw of the creature. And then as he tries to bite, the big hand of the ogre pushes the face away to try to keep the razor sharp teeth of this 7-foot bear away from it. And he kind of lets out his own roar, and actually speaks some words that it looks like the ogre recognizes, and the ogre says something back to him, and the bear just it just gets even more enraged. And his bonus action is, you can see it's almost like he grows in size a little bit, and he gets more ferocious and is basically considered to be raged at this point. Oh wait, actually no, that I'm not going to do that because he's not had a rest. So no, I won't do that. So just regular attacks. Okay, he is done. Norker died. Didn't even get a turn. Bunch of bullies.
That's what you get for being a creepy ass dude. First edition.
Yeah, and Teldrol, our dwarf. He has all his stuff. He's got his gear back, which is good. Okay. Yeah. And he does only have that though. So he's gonna use an ability. Before he runs in. Okay. That's a terrible roll. And then he is going to maneuver. He is going to maneuver. Oh, and he doesn't have... That's weird. Why doesn't he have... Well, let's just do a slash... I will fix it in a minute. Slash roll 1d20 plus 1. No, plus 3. Yeah, terrible. All right, so tries to throw a hand axe that he had on his belt and misses... one of the ogres as it flies between them. It's pretty crowded here in the hallway, unable to get it to land and find purchase. And I need to fix his attacks because I don't have them listed, so I will remember that. All right, so he is done. Now at the top of the round, we hear a door open.
Oh no.
Oh, goody.
And you guys would be able to see, those of you that have dark vision would see in there, so we'll reveal at least this much. And back to objects and tokens. And select. And we see these two who've opened the door realize there's a commotion and then are going to fire bows shots. And I'm going to put them at the top of the round here. No. Character. There you are. So even though I'm going to roll their initiative for just a second, I'm going to change it to the top of the round. So we're going to put it up here. And we're going to call this... Can I change it? There you go. 20... All right. So they pop out, realize what's going on, and will begin to shoot some arrows. So 2 arrows are going towards Kiana and 2 are going towards Alberic. attacks. So the first longbow. So here we go. Normal. 1, 2. So these are against Kiana, who has a really terrible armor class. So those hit.
And on the plus side, when she dies, we get 2 really cool longbows.
Oh, she almost goes down. That's a terrible thing. And then 2 more longbow shots at Alric. So here's 1, and here's 2. Does 15 or 7 hit?
They do not. Just the one whizzes by his cheek as he just moves, and then the other one kind of just catches the edge of his armor and plays.
So seeing where that's at, they're just going to take their position here. I'm going to say that you can see into that room, though. So more like maybe like this. We'll do it like that. Okay. As they begin to draw arrows again. Now it brings us to Mistletoe. You hear 2 arrows go flying past you and smash against the black wall to your left. And then as you get a look, as you're kind of surveying everything, you still got the 2 ogres in front of you. 1 nearly dead, 1 pretty wounded, and 2 gnolls have opened a door and started firing arrows out of it in the commotion. And there's a lot of noise going on in this hallway at the moment.
I'm significantly more terrified of the ogres than the gnolls, so I'm going to keep firing on the one who on the left we've been chewing on.
Okay.
14 and the 17 to hit.
And this is against the ogre, right?
Yeah, the ogre on the left.
Okay. Yep, hits.
Both.
Yep. 8 is enough to down the ogre. So one of the radiant sunbolts hits it, creates a big bruising area over its chest and heart area, and it falls to the ground as that heart stops.
Okay, can I shift that second attack onto the one who's still up?
Yep. So we'll put that over there.
Yeah. 8 radiant on him, and then I'll use my bonus action to hit him again.
20 hits for 9.
9 radiant. And then I'm going to run and get next to that door that the gnolls were coming out of.
Okay. That brings us to Eingar, but I think I have him muted on my side, so I don't hear him. Unmute, so I should be able to hear you now.
All right. Seeing the first ogre fall down, I'm just going to shift my aim to the second ogre and let fly.
Okay.
11.
Miss.
24.
24 hits.
For a total of 13.
All right. So we have a crossbow bolt sticking out of its flesh-shouldered area, blood pouring out, but it does not go down. Anything else for Eingar?
Nope, that's it.
All right, ogre. So 1 down, 1 still up. We'll get a chance to try to swing. I think it recognizes Vormar as being a threat, so he's going to try to hit Vormar.
That hurts, man.
Yeah. So, ogre, great club. Yep, that would hit Vormar.
Question. No, he's too far away. Never mind.
Does 15 bludgeoning, but you can tell the toughened skin and his heightened rage seems to make that blow. He just kind of shakes it off like it's hardly anything. And he ends up only actually taking 7 bludgeoning damage. Oh, no, he's not raged, so I'm sorry. I keep forgetting. He did not get his rest. So yeah, he takes that 15 bludgeoning damage. from the Great Club, makes another roar at it, and is getting ready to just maul this thing when he gets a chance. But that brings us to Rock. Barbarian, you are up.
To attack.
Yep, one hit. For 6 slashing damage from the borrowed battle axe. Is this one that's not damaged, I assume? Okay.
After that's my second one, I'm gonna throw it into the wall. I roll
another low one for one. Rolled a 1, but a +5 for the damage. Yep, that's bad. All right. Anything else for Rock?
That's it.
Still feel bad. Kiana, nearly dead. She's going to just drag herself right out of the line of fire. She is down to 1 hit point. Basically crawls to get behind some cover of some sort and tries to begin to bind her bleeding wounds, pulling the arrows of the knoll out of herself. That is going to be her turn. So, Tristan, you are up.
Okay. I attacked the ogre.
All right. Longsword flashes out. Two misses.
Oh, well.
You can tell that the skin is definitely toughened here, so you hit it, but you didn't cut through the tough hide. And we just hear more like a smacking against like when somebody hits a side of beef, hanging beef sounds. You didn't get the cutting, slicing motion. Anything else for Tristan?
Nope.
All right, Alberix. You've got an ogre still up, and you've got some gnolls still.
All right, Alberix is going to go over here and shut.
Okay.
Then I'm going to lean against, put my arms up against it. I'm going to,
So that's your action? You're holding it shut?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
No, sir.
All right. So Vormar launches himself at this ogre. Once again, he goes for battle axe, warhammer, bite. The 20 hits and the 14 hits. So he gets 11 slashing from his battle axe that sinks deep into this creature. And as it's falling, it's actually dead at this point. He doesn't stop, and you can see his bite just go out and tear into it and rip another part out of him as it pulls out 8 more piercing damage as it rips more flesh from him. Then he kind of throws it down on the ground as this thing keels over. Like that. All right, so that's the ogre. Vormir looks around. He's gonna maneuver into the hallway a little bit more in case there's more stuff coming. And that brings us to Teldrol, who again covers, moves up next to Eingar. Doesn't see anything at this point, so we'll move to our gnolls.
Hey, there's bad guys in here, guys. Over here.
Let's see. So we can't quite see in there, so let's fix that. There we go. Yay. Okay. Mistletoe, you were up.
I'm going to back up from the door and hold my action to fire off 2 blasts at the very first thing that comes through that door. And then say to Albiorix, ready whenever you open it.
All
Okay.
right.
So a hold action is one attack. So you're using a reaction to get an attack. So you're holding one of your
Okay.
Yeah, one of your attacks when you see something. Eingar, you're up.
I'm going to move over to here and do the same thing. Watching at this door is when he opens it or when it comes open, I'll shoot one of the gnolls that comes through.
Okay.
Or whatever's coming through.
Rock, your turn.
I'll move there and ready a run through as soon as Alberix opens that.
Okay. Kiana is, because there's cover, is going to move to where the group is to get a better, not be cut off. We'll move over to there. Still very wounded and very nearly bleeding out. Looks very pale from blood loss. Tristan's up.
All right. I'm going to cast a spell, and I'm going to move to this corner.
Sweet. Cast away. Okay.
That's all. Unless I see something, but it's probably dark, I'm assuming.
Yeah, the area you're at is darkened. You're outside of Alberix's torch.
Sure. So, can I listen to someone intently to see if
you
coming
go ahead
around
and roll a perception check. Yeah, you hear the creaking of the armor of your companions. You hear the taunt bowstrings. You hear the heavy breathing. You don't currently hear anything. You don't think you hear anything coming down the stairs. You don't think you hear anything from this room that you can't quite see.
Okay.
All right. Alberix, it's your turn.
So I've got like 3 people that are waiting to blast anything with that door. I am going to pull the door open and be behind.
So you're going where?
I'm going to open the door, but I'm going to be behind the door. So I'm not going to stand in front of her. I'm going to like open it and then stand behind the door.
All right,
so I don't
but
get shot.
You're not going to stand there then, is what you're saying. So where are you going to move to?
Which does the door swing this way?
Yeah.
Or this?
Yeah, it swings out.
Yep. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
And is that my action to open the door?
Yeah. Well, no, that'd be interaction. It's not a locked door.
All right. And I am going to hold my action in case some bad guy shows up so that I can try to kill.
Sure, but what's the action you're holding? An attack?
Yes.
With your shillelagh? Okay. All right.
Thorn whip is what I was going to use, but yeah.
Okay. So Vormir's up. He's kind of watching what everybody's doing, not understanding. Moves to stand by Tristan. Dwarf is kind of looking around to see what you guys are doing. Stays next to Eingar. Mistletoe, your turn.
Okay, and there's no movement from in there that I can see.
Yeah, seems like you can kind of see a little bit into the room. You see the back wall, and that's about it.
Okay, I'm going to move at a quick pace to there.
Okay.
And take a look around.
Yep, so the first thing that happens are 2 arrows come out of the darkness at you.
Naturally.
Or 1 arrow, sorry. So here comes an arrow. But it's only a 12. Not a good shot. You're moving too quickly. and then we'll see reveal area. So you can probably polygon. So from that point, you see to here, to here, to here.
Okay. Did I see about where the arrow came from?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a little bit more of that, like that. So you're just seeing part of it, and it's just seeing a small part of you, and that's why it fired off, but it didn't get a good shot at you. As the arrow hits this back wall and shatters against the wall.
Okay. I'm going to finish out my movement.
And then
Hurl
one
two
last
blasts at
arrow
that.
will fire at you, a 13.
Also misses.
All right, and that will
I'm-
reveal that part there.
I'm going to hurl off 2 blasts at that top one. The
Okay.
one who shot at me.
2 hits.
15 radiant damage total.
Okay, nice hits.
I don't think you've missed yet.
I've missed a couple. I've been fortunate. And then I'm going to burn a key point and go into patient defense. As I basically drop into a neutral stance and start kind of bobbing and weaving.
Cool. Eingar, you kind of lose track of Mistletoe into the darkness of the room there.
Okay. I will. Can I see far enough that he's away from the door, right?
Yeah, you saw him go into the room and then disappeared out of your line of sight.
Okay.
A couple muffled flashes of light.
Yeah. So like flashbangs.
I will move to here. That's as far as I can go without running. And I can see him.
Yeah, you see him against the wall, and it looks like he's kind of ducking and weaving.
And looking back this way.
Yeah, looking back around to the left.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and dash to get up beside him and then look that way.
Yeah, and you basically see what he sees.
Okay. Pointing my crossbow that way.
Okay.
Since I dashed, I can't do it. That's my action, correct?
Dash is an action, correct?
Okay.
Yeah.
Then that's my thing.
All right. Rock, half orc,
All right.
barbarian.
Rock had a pretty good view of you shooting your firebolt or your sunbolt, so he's going to come in, hang a left, and just charge.
Okay.
He's got 40 feet of movement now, so that is within his skill.
Cool.
And I didn't see which one you attacked, so I'm just going to attack the first one I saw, which is going to be the southern.
2 hits. Ooh, there's a good roll.
Wowzers.
Nice.
All right, 2 big gashes open up on the knoll as he begins to bleed out. Definitely looks in trouble.
It's another one.
There's another what?
Another one for damage.
Oh, the 6. Yeah. All right. Anything else for Rock?
Nope, stand his ground.
All right. Kiana is going to move with Tristan. She's going to go back with. She moves back to this corner where the body of her companion is, sees Alberix, waves over to Teldril to help her move the body. And that'll bring us to Tristan.
All right. I'll attempt to listen again, and I'll probably cast a spell again.
Sure. Go ahead and roll perception, and then cast a spell. Yeah, so you are hearing definite noises where your companions are, as there seems to be a fight happening in a room a little bit away from you, though you can't see where it is, but you know your companions are there. You don't hear anything coming from your left side or from like if your back is to the wall. It doesn't sound like there's anything to the north or west of you. It all sounds like it's coming from the south and east.
Okay.
All right. Anything else for Tristan?
I'm gonna grab the Norker body and drag it over towards where they're fighting.
Okay. So yeah, go ahead and move to where you want to move, and I'll drag it to under your square. So it's under you now, as if you're dragging it.
Cool.
Okay.
I'm done.
Eldrix, you're behind a door.
All right. All right. I'm going to move into this room right here. And I'm going to go ahead and try to get one of them with my psychic whip.
Yeah, 25 hits. Which one?
They both look like they're in pretty bad shape, don't they?
Yeah. All right. Yep, that's enough to. It basically wraps around its neck, and you pull. It kind of bumps into Rock, who just kind of cross-checks it, and that rips it across. The wound opens up, and then it falls to the floor.
That's awesome. Then I'm going to take the remaining of my movement and duck back around. That's my turn.
Vormir kind of sees everybody backing off. We'll come back and guard the back portion here. Doesn't know there's anything else going on. Teldril moves to help and hoist the body, and those two are going to start to move it towards the stairs because it looks like you guys were going that way. Noel, one last Noel gets one last shot. Let's see. Has he got anything? He's got that. So just drops the longbow at this point. Uses interaction to grab his spear, and will try to spear the orc twice. So spear. A 20 and a 19.
Both it.
So 3 piercing and 4 piercing for a total of 7 piercing damage. And then it tries to move here. To keep some distance between the other people and everybody else. Top of the round, we get back to Mistletoe. Our tiefling monk, you are up.
All right, I will run forward, and as I'm running, fire off 2 rounds towards the one who's standing still.
Cool.
Hey, I missed one.
Yep. 1 hit, 1 miss.
So 6 points of radiant.
Ooh, not enough. Interesting.
And I will use my bonus action to fire off 1 last attack.
Yeah, big bruise opens up, and that's also a miss.
All right. And I will just end up next to Rock. And
Rock feels 2 sources of energy go blowing past his head, crashing into the wall, making a lot of noise, but seems not to hit the knoll or him, luckily.
I'll end up shoulder to shoulder with Rock and look over like, well, hi.
Okay. And that brings us to Eingar, Dwarven Ranger.
All right, Eingar's going to step up 1 spot so he can see the last knoll.
Okay.
And take shots at him.
Cool.
Kind of between Rock's legs or around him, or whatever he can do there. 21.
Yep, 21 hits.
And he's damaged, correct?
He is.
Okay. 7 points.
Yep, and that's enough to take the last wound from him as it splits between Rock and Mistletoe are kind of doing kind of that stance of moving and shifting and dancing around almost with the creature, getting ready to strike it again as your arrow goes between the two of them, fires into the upper chest of the gnoll, and it falls to the ground on top of the other one. So there's actually two of them.
Seeing them both down, he's going to take the rest of his movement to get out of the room. Oh, it'll be here, wouldn't it?
Okay. And the area grows quiet. The only thing that anybody hears is a lot of heavy breathing, the clink of armor that people are wearing, definitely the chainmail, but the rest seems to grow quiet.
All right. I'm going to chuck the Norker body into the cooking room.
Okay.
Rock, how many were upstairs?
4 was his guess, but I don't know. He came down these stairs and didn't see those two, so
he did.
I wouldn't count. So were there are 4 more upstairs?
Yes. Yeah. I described that to you twice now.
So 4. There's
hard to tell without the map.
That's all. True.
We should make ourselves ready to do this. The sooner we can be away, the sooner I can rest and take vengeance upon them.
So the only thing upstairs at this point, assuming the Norkers haven't come back on patrol yet, are 4 ogres? Is that it?
I would say 4 ogres and a Norker patrol, because they brought the deer.
Oh, okay.
Oh shit, that's not more than we can handle.
And I've got no idea where the giant is.
Right.
Or the 2 wolves.
Well, we do, kinda. He was eating earlier.
Yeah, I don't mean to be a drow downer, but that sounds like a really great way to die.
Should we drag the ogre bodies over here to the troll beds and make it look like they're sleeping?
Not a bad idea. Sure. I'll help with that.
Yep, and let's make sure we close all the doors too, for the kitchen and whatnot. And search the ogres for anything useful.
And I'm gonna go search those gnolls for anything.
The gnolls did not seem to have anything on them besides their weapons and armor at the moment. They have their crudely made bows, some serviceable spear, 2 spears, 2 bows, a quiver of crude arrows. Do they have anything else? Nope, they don't. And it looks like, though they have their armor on, you can, as you're looking around in that room, Alberix, you realize that there is some cooking going on. So they were in the process of doing some cooking.
They're the new cooks. I am gonna, while they're dragging those bodies, I am gonna look around here and see if there's anything worth having.
So let me give those guys that. Let me move the NPCs into the room with everybody.
I think we can still do the original plan, of him trying to pull down one ogre and see if we can ambush it.
Okay.
Would it, what if, I've got a riding horse on this thing, on this cloak. Can we run it up through there and distract them? Maybe they'll run out the front door after it or something?
I'm sorry, did you say your shirt turns into a horse?
No, I have a cloak of many things, and on it, one of the patches on it is a riding horse with saddlebags.
Well, my compliments to your tailor.
And Kiana says, that sounds like a terrible way to treat a horse.
Don't tieflings have innate abilities?
A couple, sure.
So what can you do?
Well, I can see in the dark. occasionally I can make things explode a little bit. Mostly I just, I'm a student. I read well.
I seem to recall a rumor back at the monastery about tieflings causing areas of darkness.
I took a different racial variant.
That's racist.
I say
Tristan.
Yeah, all
hashtag
tieflings
not all
can cast darkness.
Yeah. Hashtag
Well, they're
not
all
all
demons,
tieflings.
So
They're all. I assume you've heard they're all evil too.
yeah,
Yeah.
this one seems okay.
I went for the feral tiefling that gives you the burning hands and the dexterity bump instead.
Okay.
Rock will go up and listen at that door.
Perception check.
You hear a train.
You do hear a train behind the door.
That's the way out of here,
The
guys.
train
Get
slams
on that
into
train.
the door. You take 10 d20s damage. You hear your companions conversing about the lineage of a tiefling, but that's about all you hear.
Is the... Jeez. It's not the way up. Do you want to try the ambush?
Yeah, but we should search this door first, just in case. There should be nothing in there, but if there is, it'd be sucky to get that when we're ambushing.
All right, I'll pull it open as quietly as possible.
All right, so let's go to the map layer. Let's go to here, grab the door. This door opens inward. Like that. Let's go ahead and open up that. And with that...
Oh, wait, correction. Hashtag yes, all tieflings. I can't cast it. That's my bad.
That's just wrong. That's it. You can't. We're taking it away from you.
For
With
the
that, we're
role
gonna take our 10-minute break here. So I have 10:04 on my clock. Whatever's on your clock when it hits the 14 mark. That's when we will be back, but we'll go and take a quick break, and we'll come back and we'll see what comes storming out of the room at our players as they continue to open doors in the Black Pyramid. Don't go too far. You never know what's going to happen. So stay tuned. coming back, but we got one of our players is resetting his microphone for just a moment, so we're going to let that work its way out. Oh, he's going to drop out of everything. All right.
Yeah, I think he's restarting his machine.
Let's go to Dees. Yeah, look at that. I got it set right. Cool. So we'll let him join back in for a second as he gets going. You guys are in the room there. You've got 2 ogre bodies you've dragged into the beds and covered them as if they're sleeping. I would say, those of you that can hear at the moment, go ahead and make an intelligence check.
Nat 20.
So Mistletoe and Rock realize that, yes, if somebody looks in this room, the ogres will appear to be sleeping, though they'll probably be super surprised by the hallway that is smeared with guts and entrails and blood where the battle just happened.
That'll dry up soon enough.
That's why all my damage, like emotional damage, is on the inside.
Emotional damage.
And for somebody
can
who
can we work this? I no longer deal radiant. I deal strictly emotional damage.
yeah.
But he can hurt you in other ways.
And for somebody who wants to talk, you sure seem to be pretty lethal.
I am terrified. Like, Mistletoe is so completely terrified of what's going on that her resources flail at everything.
I can hear you now, Tom.
All right.
Tom?
Or Logan.
Hey, Tom's back.
Tom, can you hear me?
I can.
I've been plunging into darkness, Lucian, when I was in the cook thing.
I moved you. You're in the number 2 room.
Oh, so there was nothing in the kitchen?
Oh, there was the kitchen stuff.
Nothing I wanted.
Dinah.
All right, we got Tom back. Go back to our battle map. There we go. Okay, cool. We got everybody back. Sweet. So, Rock, how do you open this door? Do you creak it open? Do you slam it open and run in? What do you do?
Creak it open.
So you creak it open, and the hinges just make this ghastly noise, like Halloween-style door hinges at a haunted house. And as it opens up, you see the shadows seem to move, and then you're looking into an empty room. It does smell pretty bad still.
I cannot step into the room.
There's something blocking you.
I'm blocked by an invisible force.
Yes. Rock's head turns 360 and he spits pea soup out at everybody. Happy Halloween. All right, you should be able to go in now.
Hey, just kidding.
All I heard is that you picked up a breath weapon. Go get the ogres.
Yeah, that deals soup damage.
I will explore briefly with what I can see with my unaffected.
Yeah, so we can go back to
I will
the
cover him
description
from
of
the
this.
door.
It looks the same as the time you were in here before, minus the trolls that lived here. It's a mauve chamber, so it has like a mauve colored material on the walls. It's definitely highly polished stone, nothing like you've seen before. The floor and ceiling are polished obsidian, which you've kind of seen everywhere else. But you do notice the floor has pyramids incised on it, one every few feet, all with bases to the north, points to the south. The ceiling seems to have some carvings. It's kind of like a bas relief ceiling. And there's some types of patterns up there in the darkness of the ceiling.
Is it Cthulhu-esque? Does it hurt my head to look at it?
Do you stare at it for more than just a second?
Not now.
Not now.
Then you don't know what it is.
Stare at rock.
Makes me uncomfortable.
Stare at it.
The room is
Grab
empty.
an NPC, make them
I will
stare at it.
back by the back of the head. Ugh.
The NPC looks at you, Tristan, and says, "I will not fall for your tricks. You look at it."
Stare at it, Oathbinder, or the rock.
Oathbinder.
No, he's gonna back out and shut that door.
All right. So do we want to all pile up in the corner here by Angar and wait for Rock to bring us an ogre?
Bring us an ogre, rock.
Sure.
For
I would
Winter's
say,
Crest, I want a pony and 3 ogres.
So your NPCs would like to hear what your plan is, because it sounds like a very terrible plan.
All right.
It says, Teldril, the dwarf. What are you doing? What are we doing?
Well, first we're gonna bring ogres down. Then we're gonna have you run away.
How is he going to bring ogres down?
Well, they think he's working for him. So when he goes upstairs and asks for one of the ogres to come downstairs because the giant wants to talk to him, then he can pull one ogre down and we'll jump it.
So Teldril like nods his head. He's like, "Oh, okay. So Rock speaks ogre."
I don't know.
You
know,
see
gotta
Rock shake
communicate
his head.
somehow.
And then you see the dwarf kind of look to Eingar like, "These are the companions you chose, brother?" Yeah, he gives you, and he kind of gives you the. What he's like?
I
What
have
happened
faith.
to Port Bastion?
Wait
I
till you
simply
see
have
it.
faith that my plan will work. You know, I'm a faith-based economy.
I think it would occur to Rock that he does not have a way to communicate with an ogre.
I say we go up and do the whole village.
Charge.
Here's a question for you. So you were telling me about how you looked at the netting, right, and how to activate it.
Yep,
Were they standing underneath it?
I would guess not. It's right in the entrance. I don't think you've been here since it's gotten dumped on us, but it's really meant for people coming into the town.
It's
Oh,
right
okay.
near. Think of it as the barricade you jumped over. Normally, somebody who climbs over that and then is going to charge into the pyramid, that net would be dropped on them. You were moving way too fast for the net to be dropped on you when you charged in, but that's the location of where that weighted net is.
Gotcha.
And I think you guys would have seen it when you guys were up there and you inspected the whole place. So it's not like it was hidden from you guys. It just never got triggered because you had come in so quickly and you dove all the way to the back that just the battle happened and they never even triggered it.
Is the hallway small enough that we could limit the front against maybe 1 or 2 ogres, but not all 4? The stairwell, I mean.
The stairwell is definitely a 10 by 10 hallway. And it goes, so basically the part that you can kind of see on the map, so it goes to the west and it goes to like a 10-foot platform. And then it goes up again to the south, which leads up to that first level up above. And that's also a 10-foot by 10-foot. Actually,
Okay.
I think the ceiling's a little bit higher, but it's 10 feet wide.
And that would limit us to 1 or 2 ogres? Maybe.
I mean, possibly. I mean, yeah.
Does
it's
it
10
look
feet
like you
wide.
could fit 3 ogres in fighting function in that hallway or the width?
I mean, just like you guys can maneuver past yourselves. Sure, I guess if there's 2 people standing there trying to not let them go through, you could think that you might be able to hold them back. Maybe. They would have to jostle each other to get past each other. But just like you guys moving down a 5-foot tunnel, you constantly go through each other all the time to maneuver, so they do the same thing.
Okay.
You think it would, I don't think, you definitely, looking at it, wouldn't think 4 of them would be able to stand there abreast, so you're definitely a limiting factor.
Well, if we do a kill pocket, for lack of like right there, right?
That's Vanguard. You can't play Vanguard.
Hey, Lucian, how since being captured, how long have we been in the...
You're not sure. There was a lot of unconscious time. You've not seen daylight. You're all pretty exhausted, though some of you have gotten an hour rest, but nobody's gotten real rest at this point.
I'm asking for my staff
Except for
in
Eingar.
charge.
Yeah, you're not sure.
Okie-dokie.
You'll have to try something and it'll either work or it won't.
Enough talk. Rock, see us out of this place.
Well, I can go throw a javelin at one or something and bring it back down.
I mean, javelins are a form of communication.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that message is clear, really. There's only really one language.
Alberix is going to look over his shoulder. I'm going to look over my shoulder at the other guys. Come, shoulder to shoulder. Let's make our way out of here.
I guess I'll sneak up those stairs.
Will you have your cloak on and all that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're not doing any kind of plan. It's just going to be a
Well, you're just gonna throw it and run back down, right?
pretty much. I
All right.
can't communicate with.
Okay. So what is the rest of the group going to do while you see... Let's get a stealth check from... Unless you're not stealthing, you're just walking up Rock.
He'll do it. I don't want to get caught unawares.
So,
Are you still doing the
go ahead and
shield
do
thing, Rock?
a stealth roll. Okay.
You know, you probably should take that shield.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I get advantage on that because I'm wearing my.
Okay, and so what is the rest of the group doing?
I'm sneaking upstairs.
Okay.
As Rock gives me my shield back, I'm going to hand him my last healing potion.
So it looks like this. Let's do that. Okay. So this part here, let's go freehand, and we'll do, I guess, how about a purple color? So basically what we get is, this is the set of stairs. So that leads up to a 10-foot platform. So as you're looking up there, you don't see anything on the 10-foot platform as you maneuver up, Rock.
As soon as I see something, ogre or whatever, coming down, if I see some legs before they see us, I'm going to try and shoot it, and maybe it'll fall down the steps.
So if I'm on a 10-foot platform, can I look around the corner?
Okay, so you're up on the platform, and you're looking now. The stairs are to the south of you, and they rise up again. And you're looking up, and you don't see anything.
Can I creep to the top of the stairs?
Okay, so you're at the top of the stairs, and remember that the wall is kind of along your right-hand shoulder. You can see a couple of ogres are off to your left. You can see a group of Norkers that are sitting in a circle, and it looks like they're dividing up foods and carcasses and hides and things from the group. It looks like it's that hunting party, and you can see the two Norkers up at the front standing guard. He
will creep back down.
All right. 2 crossbow bolts come at you from Eingar, who shoots anything he sees. That's what he said. So he
I
just,
Yes.
I'm just kidding. So we see Rock come back down. Not very quickly.
The numbers are grim.
I believe I have something that may help. And with that, he presents his staff and says, I can create a large cloud of insects that will tear at their flesh. If I can make it up there, I believe that may deal with a great many of them as we make our way out.
Will it hide us also?
It will hide us in the fact that the insects will eat away at their eyes as they rest in their skulls. I am talking about casting insect plague. So he describes this. Can you describe it again? The Norkers are in a circle sitting around trading Cheetos, and then the ogres are where?
He saw 2 ogres to his left when he was at the top. And then 2 Norkers on lookout at this entrance.
Do you wish for me to envelop the Norkers?
I wish to think about staying put and hiding. Did you say you found stairs? Other stairs?
There's stairs down.
And there's another stair up, but it has a giant undead creature waiting at the bottom of it.
I think frontal assault out is a bad idea.
I crave the stars overhead. I don't intend to stay under here any longer than I have to.
Well, an insect plague will actually probably wipe the Norkers.
I mean, dude, we're talking about 40-10 damage every round that they're in it.
Yeah.
As long as that staff has its charge, that could do it.
I know that
I can flurry of blows on one of the ogres and just spam radiant on him.
Well, I know that this thing had 8 charges left because I only used two of the obscuring swarms before, so I know it has the charges. I was just hoping that I got the other 2 back because I'm a greedy bitch.
I mean, it might work. The only question is there anything else past that room, or can we just drop the plague and book it, essentially?
I have a question. How big is the entrance to this place?
It is, you recall it to be 20 feet wide and pretty tall.
Okay. Too big for the door.
I mean, I'm pretty confident that I can smoke those Norkers. They're not going to make it out of that insect plague. And then a couple of ogres and Norkers, we can do that.
That's 4 ogres.
He said 2
I
up
said
there.
2.
So I saw 2. We know there's 4.
I know that there was 2 down here and there was 2 up there. That makes 4.
It's possible they could have gone on patrol somewhere else, which is also not
Rock
good
would
for
have
us.
remembered that he counted 4 upstairs and 2 that he passed when he was downstairs.
And still no sign of the giant.
Right. Well, the giant was eating on this floor, on the other side, almost directly across the pyramid from us. But he'll get done
I think
eventually.
if we go out, if we drop the insect plague and then we just run, like we throw our shots at while moving, just range attacks, keep going, we might be able to make it out the door and get out. But the question is, can we survive pursuit?
Well, if we drop the net on the way out too, I mean that might do some slowing if they're chasing at that.
Yeah.
An insect plague doesn't not affect your group.
If we get into it.
No, I'm talking about the actual spell insect plague, not the obscuring thing that I've been using. So it's a 20-foot radius spell that I drop wherever I choose.
Yeah. Okay.
But it can't move.
Right. It's a 20-foot radius sphere centered where
I also have 2 more mastiffs that I can pull off of this cloak.
you just want to waste everything on that cloak.
I want to get out of here.
It's not a waste if it gets us out, right?
Yeah, if it keeps you alive, it's not a waste.
All right.
Yep.
So we're running for it then. We're not fighting.
Okay.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so we're sneaking up the stairwell. He's insect plaguing it, and we're running like the devil.
Eingard, do you have any more of your sneaky magic?
I do not. I would have already brought that up.
Okie dokie.
Oh, I've got caltrops. I'm gonna break those out.
Nice.
Albrix and Tristan will need to be able to see.
Oh, what time of day is it?
It's dark. Oh, dark 30 in the pyramid.
Yeah, but when he snuck up to the top of the stairs, could he see light coming through the front?
No. Dark.
So it's nighttime out. I mean, I guess, does that give us the option of resting within the pyramid?
I mean, do we think we could rest before they come down before anyone comes down the staircase?
I mean, we could go back to just business as usual. Rock could go up, stand as guard, and you guys could rest. Maybe I could just see if I can get some sleep up there.
I didn't make it all the way to these stairs to not leave this pyramid.
You could still go up there and go on guard.
I'm just telling you. Like, Alberix has he's free. He does not want to stay down here. Sleeping in a troll shitter is not his idea of what he's doing. Like, he's going out these stairs.
All right.
I have a spell that will annihilate these guys, and I'm going.
Rock's going to take off his cloak, hand somebody his axe, and pick up that piece of crap spear that they gave him. And I'll go up, and when you guys come running out, I'll throw the net and make sure that they don't trap you there.
All right.
Okay.
Dude, I'm going to trap them with 40-10 damage. That's what I'm trapping them with.
I'm going to drink that last
all in a
health
circle.
Gather round. I'm going to tell you a story. My early Orky days. These stupid narkers.
So what's happening? I'm hearing a lot of plans, but I'm not seeing a lot of stuff happening.
Hey, you get +2 to your shitty roll on your potion there.
Okay. I can also cast darkness on our way out. So I can drop that behind us.
Drop that on
in the door. Yeah, I can do it as soon as I pop up. I can just drop darkness on the ogres.
Actually, you know what? I wouldn't even have a spear because I had deer in both hands. So I'll go upstairs unarmed at this point and trudge back to my position. Dejected and weak.
Okay. So you go up the stairs and disappear. What's the rest of the group doing?
Let's get everybody stacked up. And then, give 30, 45 seconds for Rock to get in position and then go for it.
45 seconds.
I'm gonna motion to Man Bear Pig to come join us, and do my best to explain that we're just going to run in whatever rudimentary communication we've come up with so far.
I'm going to second that motion.
I'm for it.
We have a motion properly seconded. Did you do something like this? You're like,
Say that again. You're going to do what? Mistletoe?
I'm going to try and convey to Vormar in whatever rudimentary communication we've established that we're trying to just run.
Do a... I would say this would be charisma-based, performance-based. So maybe do a performance check for me.
Okay. Nat 20.
Yeah, I think he kind of gives you the nod of understanding. You think he's probably like 75% understands what you're saying.
I'm going to fist bump him and give him like a yeah.
And you notice that he's put up over his shoulder the body of the elf, the slain elf, and that Kiana is limping behind him.
oh shit, she needs healed still, doesn't she?
She looks near
she'll
death.
Die. He'll be fine.
She's got 1 hit point.
I've got one last potion. Healing potion.
Give her that 3-wheel motion.
Give her that what?
It just rhymed with potion.
Okay.
Give her the potion.
We'll give her a potion.
All right, roll it up.
5.
She now has 6.
Stellar rolls.
Which Vormir has, not that you guys can tell, but 13. Near death. Toldrin, the dwarf, has 10. And then what you guys have.
Send that shitty dwarf in first. I like the Man Bear Pig way better.
All right, so you're gonna count out 45 seconds after Rock has left.
Yeah. Then we should probably sneak up as close as we can get before we have to make a break for it.
Well, we have to have light. So
And,
the
we have-
sneaking part.
Yeah,
Is that what you're getting ready to say, Lucian?
Yeah, well, 2 things. Sneaking is any of you that are going to try to stealth or try to be quiet when you do this, I need a stealth roll. And make sure you're doing it at disadvantage if your armor mentions that. And if you can't see, you're at disadvantage trying to stealth. 2, is there going to be light or not? Because you can't necessarily cast that spell unless you can see the target.
I think we kind of got to go big. I think it should be me and Albiorx coming over the edge, you dropping Insect Plague, me dropping Darkness, just like kick open the door shooting and then run.
Pretty much. And I'm going to have a torch with me. In a telekinesis sort of.
So you're lighting a torch?
Oh, yeah.
Do I have that? I think I have a bullseye lantern in my gear. Yeah, I do. If you want to use that.
I don't give a crap.
Okay.
I've picked like one of the only 2 races in this game that doesn't have dark vision.
I got the other one.
I know it. All right. So I am going to try to quietly move up there, and as the light, as soon as I can see what's going on, I'm going to do my thing with the pioneer woman.
Yep. As soon as we come over, as soon as I can see the ogres, I'm dropping Darkness and then booking it.
All right, so you guys are starting to climb some steps. Logan, let's jump into... Oh, do I have another voice channel here? I don't even have another one. I guess I'll create one, huh?
Just jump over to the
The regular, the gaming one. Yeah, jump down to my game channel. We'll be back in 1 second. All right, so yeah, you're taking up position as you, and so what you see when you kind of go up them stairs is you see the two ogres are bored, barely look at you when you come up, and they're over on the left. You can see a circle of 10 that are divvying up and doing the stuff that has to deal with the hunting party. As you're walking, you look back over your shoulder and you see, because the stairwell has that wall that goes up and it separates the two sets of stairs that go down and then shift out. So there's a wall there that you can't see. When you get past that wall, the other two ogres are up and around that wall in a corner, and they seem to be just hanging, milling about in that back corner, minding their own business. They don't really pay attention to you too much. The Norkers at the front see you coming, and they kind of give you the nod. And as you're taking your position back where you were before, that's when you see Grug is coming back up the steps as if he's just returning from somewhere.
All right.
The dire wolves are next to him, and he's at the bottom of those.
He will do he'd probably stick his finger down his throat and make himself vomit. I want to make sure that they know that I'm feeling ill. And he's got to look horrible at this point, right? He's down a ton of hit points.
Well, you're bleeding. You've had wounds. You're bleeding that haven't been. So go ahead and do. This is gonna be performance, but I'll give you advantage because you definitely fit the part. So do a performance check. Roll it twice. Oof. So let me roll a Norker intelligence. Yeah. Okay. So it looks at you strangely, the Norker. It says something in his language, realizing you don't ever understand each other. And then what do you do?
Again, he's got to look exhausted regardless. Mime, lay down or sleep.
Okay.
Maybe motion back downstairs.
Okay. And you see it kind of sneer at you as if it has a very condescending look on its face. And you might hear the word, and you probably will recognize this from now on. Anytime you hear it, you're probably pretty sure that this is the goblinoid version of the word weak. And he just kind of shakes his head and then straightens up as they just happen to notice that Grug is coming up with the dire wolves, and they kind of stand at attention and get everything ready as they're paying attention to Grug who's coming up.
I will nod in agreement and start backing away from Grug.
Yeah, they're not even looking at you.
All right. I'll make my way backwards down towards the stairs.
Okay.
Bowing, scraping, oozing blood.
All right, so we can go back now. All right, cool.
But I'm going to drop darkness on them.
All right. So as you guys are getting to the first platform, who's in front and where's the light and how is that working? Describe that to me.
Mistletoe and Albiorix are up front.
So you two are side by side?
I believe so.
And are you going quietly or are you just walking normally?
Quiet.
All right. So what is Alberix's and Mistletoe's stealth check?
I have disadvantage because I have medium armor.
Okay. So you both appear quietly, and nobody's following you? It's just you two moving up?
I think we're just leaving a gap.
How big of a gap?
I'm like 10 feet behind him.
Okay. So just as you're getting to the platform area, you're about to start to go up the steps. Your light is shining up the stairs.
Yeah, I bet.
Okay. You see a shape stumble into view, and you see Rock at the top of the stairs.
We'll intensely whisper, "Go back, go back, go back now."
I'm gonna
I'm
go back.
Turn around and go
Intensely.
right back down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Giant's coming.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm gonna run around a corner and
We need- Hide
What do you-
somewhere.
Is he coming down this stairwell?
Coming into the temple from
right.
outside. So,
and if he comes down the staircase, we could
You
trap him in
probably
that narrow
have,
hallway with an insect plague.
give or take 2 minutes.
We've got a nice narrow 10-foot hallway with a insect plague and a darkness spell. We could drop on him in that hallway and try and grind him up as he comes down the staircase.
this
True.
is a
No way,
5
dude.
this is a 5-foot door right here.
Yeah, but we don't know if he's going to be coming down that door. Like we have a 50-50 shot of him coming down this staircase.
I guess we. Yeah, but the thing is there's, dude, one hit from that guy would smoke each one of us.
True.
Are the wolves with him?
Yes.
Yeah, then no.
shit.
All right, time to hide in the troll shitter.
It was their room. It's not their.
So if we just wait for the giant to go past and go to his, hopefully go to his, whatchamacallit, his room, then we can maybe still run out.
For some reason, I just had a flashback of Happy Gilmore. Get in your hole.
I know the plan hadn't been to hide out, but I don't see any way of getting out without getting hit with a rock and turned into paste.
Yeah, probably.
let the giant go by.
Door open, door closed.
Probably door closed. Is there anything in here we can wedge it, close it with?
Good question. In that
We double it up
room-
with that iron door that you got on your cloak?
We could do that.
In that room would be. There's the rotten remains of a bed, couch, table, and chairs. This probably used to be a bedchamber of some sort before it was all torn apart by trolls who decided to make their nests here. The bed and couch have been converted into troll nests. The reek of those creatures are still pretty striking, and it's still in this room. You see the remains of some of their feeding, which is really gross at the moment. There's a battered armoire against the north wall with a door that was missing. Some of the drawers were still intact. Molding pile of cloth that's been kicked apart when it was searched last time you were in here. That's all for furnishing in here.
I'm gonna close the door.
Door closed.
And is that a sturdy enough door? Would we be better off putting on the door from the patch?
Dude, if they want in, they're getting in.
Yeah,
I agree.
Got to come through that kill pocket.
Yeah, let's not our iron door.
All right.
I think we're waiting.
Yep.
2 minutes goes by, and all of you hear a thunderous yell You hear the howl of dire wolves.
Does it sound like a happy yell?
It sounds like Vormir's trying to tell Mistletoe something. Vormir understands what's being said, but doesn't have a way to communicate it to you. And then quiet.
Does Vormir look worried or concerned about what he's trying to?
Vormir has his
bring
weapons
across?
out, and he's like ready for battle.
Okay, I'm gonna reload my arms like Henry Cavill in Mission Impossible and stare at the door.
I love that scene in that. That's one of the best fight scenes ever.
Oh, it's so good.
Love it. And then it goes quiet.
All right, I think the coast is clear.
You can turn into a spider and run out there and look.
I need a rest for that.
5 minutes goes by.
Shall we give it a shot?
Yep.
Okay, same plan as before.
Might as well.
Alright, let's get stacked up at the bottom of the staircase.
You're
Or
opening the
let's
door.
just open the door and look out first.
How long do you wait before you open the door?
You said 5 minutes.
Well, I'm just letting you know that 5 minutes went by, but how long do you want to wait before you open the door?
If I listen at the door and don't hear anything, I'll open it right now in 5 minutes.
Perception check. You hear faint noises of feet shuffling. Very faint.
Could be searching for us. Again, do we run?
I think we've got to get out because if we sit here and get hunted by these guys, because they're gonna find the stream of corpses before too long.
It would stand to reason they already did. Hence the howling.
Show of hands. Stay.
Ah.
Go.
I think
I'm good with
I
that.
think Alberix the Druid would know the dire wolves' sense of smell would tell you exactly.
We're getting found if we stay here. We gotta go.
Yep, I'm good with going.
Okay, I'll open that door.
All right. Door. Oh, yeah, map and objects open.
I got the lantern at the back.
So you're staying back?
I can't really go anywhere without the light, so.
Yeah, I'm with Tristan.
I'll keep sneaking. Heading back for the stairs. All right, I'll go around to the 10-foot.
Yep, platform seems empty.
What about the entrance?
You're going up?
As I creep up?
You don't see anything when you creep up.
I'll go a little farther, see if I can spot where they're at.
Yeah, you kind of maneuver. Go ahead and give me a stealth roll if you're creeping. Okay, so you go up the stairs. You're at the lip. You don't see anything to your left. You don't see the hunting party. You don't see anything near the front of the pyramid. And as you look around the wall, you don't see anything over there. The first level's empty.
Okay. I'll walk out to the front and wave them on and look out the entrance towards the barrier.
So you go up to the barricade? Is what you're saying?
Does that mean I have to go all the way out the entrance to get to the barricade? The
barricade's right at the entrance. Yeah, right at the front of the entrance.
Yep. I'll go up to the.
And actually, how far is that? Now that I think about it.
I thought the barricade was out in front of the net trap.
Yeah. Let's zoom out some. There we go. Yeah, so at the top of the stairs, you're in darkness. You can't quite see the front end of the area. When you get up to the barricade and you look back, it's more than 60 feet. So you see 60 feet back into the pyramid and then darkness. So the pyramid's longer than 60 feet.
Can I hear anything?
Nope. As you walk through it, you didn't see... I mean, you can see things that look like they hastily have been left, but you don't see anybody here or moving around. You don't see any of the people that you saw earlier here.
Okay. I'll wave everybody on and make for the barricade.
All right. You're at the barricade.
Anything on the path in front of us on the way out?
Nope. Steps go down. You don't see anything out into the night, but you can only see, 60 feet.
Okay. I'll start moving and assuming they're following.
I shall arise from the stairs with my illuminating light.
Yeah, so you guys are up in the top level of the pyramid, and it appears to be empty at the moment.
Holy shit. Lucian?
What's the fastest way we can get off the pathway? If they're, I know it's a crazy, steep incline coming in, but
yeah, it's like wide open as you go down the steps, down to the saddle. The saddle goes across the scree of rocks that have been set up. That is that's like several football fields. And then you start climbing back up the mountain that hides the temple till you get about midway up, and then you go around it and you go back down that mountain, if you remember how you got here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's wide open. There's not cover anywhere.
Which just means they won't be hard to see if they're chasing us. As a suggestion, Alberix, before we leave, when everyone's out, drop your insect plague in the entrance. It lasts 10 minutes. It'll give us some time to get out before they can chase us.
I kind of wanted it in case they do catch us. Because I don't have any spells. I don't have anything other than the shitty cantrip.
10 minutes is a long time to get the heck out of Dodge. It's a good lead. If a Norkers chase us down, we probably have a problem.
No one's up here, right, Lucian?
The top level of the temple is empty.
Yeah, I'm saying book it, because if we get caught by those dire wolves later, we're going to want every big hit we can throw.
Yep, running.
Alright. I'll book it.
I'm faster than they are, so I'll run ahead scouting.
Still using the light?
For until I get out to where there's moonlight, absolutely.
Oh, it's dark out. There does not seem to be a moon illuminating your way.
Then yeah, I'm gonna have to use this for a minute.
All right, so you're bobbing down. I assume Tristan's staying in that so he can see. so no disadvantage for moving quickly. So yeah, you guys start scrambling down the pyramid. Takes you maybe 10 or 15 minutes to run your way across, and by the time you get to the other side, all of you are pretty winded and you're feeling pretty tired. It's been a long set of time that you've been running, hiding, battling, coming back from near death with no real rests. But you're on the other side and you're up on the trail on the mountain and moving around.
Again, I'll be moving ahead if I can.
Sure. Yep. You're up front. Do you get out of their sight?
I assume we keep going.
And realistically, I know they're not going to break off the trail, so if I can get out far enough, I will. I mean, I'm moving 40 and they're moving 30.
Okay, yeah. So you guys lose sight of Rock, who heads up forward, and then you guys are kind of moving along the trail.
I'm going to keep pace with Rock just in case he gets jumped.
Oh, okay. So you lose sight of Rock and Mistletoe.
I'm going to try to get... I mean, whenever there's an elevation change to where our light won't be evident from that pyramid, so that we can GTFO.
Yeah, the trail is empty.
I'm going to go for as long as I possibly can, and then collapse.
All right. So, yeah, so you get up and around the trail, you get back down the mountain, and you get into the ravine that leads to the east. And by about the time all of you hit that, everybody can go ahead and take 1 level of exhaustion.
Okey-dokey.
So you're at the ravine entrance. I mean, you're days away from being home. How far do you push it? So for every 2 hours you push it from here on out, it'll be another level of exhaustion.
I think 1 level of exhaustion is plenty for Albirix, and I am going to use survival to find a... Is there any water? Do we cross any water or anything of that?
Not in the ravine area. There are streams and rivers and stuff that you come across further east, but not in the ravine part that leads into this where the pyramid was.
All right.
If you're I'll move you guys to here. If you bring up the player map, which everybody should be able to see, which I guess I still haven't updated. So you guys are coming out of that very west ruin, which is actually...
What map is this?
Yeah, so it's down there. It's called the world map under handouts.
Yep.
So...
Lucian, I rolled my survival. I'd like to try to find somewhere that we can hunker down in, because I'm nearing... I have disadvantage on my ability check because I have 1 level of adjustment.
Right. You can tell that in the ravine, there's not really anywhere that you wouldn't be seen. You have to get out of the ravine area, and that's at least about 1 mile. And then when you get out of the ravine, you start to get into the mountainous forest. So it's a lot of elevation change. Think of very Appalachian Mountains kind of area. So it's a lot of ups and downs. There's a lot of ridges of mountain ranges. And there's not a lot of trails out here There's some here and there. And then you can follow a couple of deer trails for a while. I mean, you're in a forest, you're in a deep forest, you can create a camp if you wish. What's the type of thing that you want to find? What are you looking for?
Something that will keep us from view, immediately from view. Maybe an elevated position.
I mean,
So
you kind of see that stuff all over. There's bushes, trees you could hide behind. There's mountainous ravines. There's canyons.
Hey, Lucian.
Yeah.
Are we in the mountains or are we in forest?
You're in forested mountains, so it's a mountain area that seems to be slowly rising, and it has a lot of, and it's covered. It's all forested, covered mountains.
Mountains are my favorite terrain.
Yeah, so think of this like Appalachians, not like Colorado.
Okay.
Or the western mountain ranges, which are a little bit more sparse and just more rock. This is more like covered over heavy forest, ravines and such. Pennsylvania, New York, kind of think of that area.
I'm gonna find a nice Pocono hiding spot and dig in.
All right, so you start to set up camp. And that's where we'll end tonight, and we'll have to see what happens as the group. Is the plan to go back to Port Bastion then?
I think the plan is to sleep.
Okay, so that is it for tonight's session as they begin to make their way east. And we'll have to see how it goes. It looks like they got out, so that was pretty good. And we'll go ahead and call our session there. So thanks for joining. Hope everybody enjoyed that. Got a little bit more combat in there and a little bit more sneaking around, which was fun. When we come back next week, we will see where they end up and what adventure they seem to go on next. And we'll probably... I'll probably have to do XP at this point. So we should see some level changing at this point. There's plenty of XP for what you guys have done, so it should be pretty good. So other than that, if you missed anything for tonight's session, you can go back and watch the VOD, and I will post it on YouTube coming up probably later this week. If you want to see some more Dungeons & Dragons on Wednesday, I'll be playing a Tomb of Annihilation game over on Danimal's channel, which is fun with several of these players. In fact, 3 of them. As long as we have a session, hopefully we're not going to miss that one. And Thursday night we're going to run a non-streamed test session for anybody that happens to be around. So that is it for what we're doing D&D for the rest of this week. So thanks for joining, and we will catch you in the next one. Bye.
Adios.
Bye.
Bye-bye.